So I'm going to move on to the next guy here, Bradley Chubb. So Bradley Chubb, another edge rusher. Obviously, the Dolphins got him to trade with the Denver Broncos. They traded a first round pick for him, and for most of his tenure with the Dolphins, he really hadn't. He really hadn't paid off. That first round pick hadn't really paid off. But right prior to his injury, and it's just a cruel reality, but right prior to his injury, he was playing out of his mind. Like he was all over the field. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I don't mean to interrupt you, but talk about just being a Dolphins fan, right? Yeah. You have a player in Bradley Chubb that was playing better than he probably ever had.
Yeah.
I mean, what did he have? Like before his injury, he had 6 or something, an insane amount of sacks in a short amount of time.
Yeah, but he was also just like making plays behind the line of scrimmage in the running game, batting balls down. Like the 3 games prior to him getting injured, or the month prior to him getting injured, I was noticing him, and he was impossible not to notice. He was just all over the field.
Yep.
And then he goes down with an injury in garbage time in a game that he shouldn't have even been playing in at that point.
Yeah. Typical Mike McDaniel fashion, refusing to pull your players out when you need to.
Well, talk to us more about. I just depressed myself.
No, don't be. Honestly, man. Look, there's no reason to be depressed, right? I mean, I know there's a slew of Miami Dolphins fans that are like, "This was a waste of a pick. I can't believe it." Blah blah blah. Yeah, sure, fine, okay. He got injured. Shit happens, right? Yeah, we gave up a first round pick and we gave him a giant extension. Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? That's the price of playing business, right? That's the price you pay to play, right?
Yeah.
And Bradley Chubb he was born in 1996. He's going, I think if I'm doing my math right, he's turning 29 or 30 in this coming year. So he's not old, in definitely not old for a normal standard, but from an NFL standard, he's hitting that kind of late stage of his prime, if you will. Right. So Bradley Chubb, if he could stay healthy, he could play another 5, 6 years, 7 years.
You don't trade a first round pick for a guy and not give him an extension. That's just not how it works in the NFL.
No. And you saw what his impact could be before his injury. And I genuinely believe, as frustrating as it was to see, as frustrating as it was to be told the complete opposite of reality from the Miami Dolphins at every chance that they got, that he's coming back, he's fine, he's almost there, for him to be out all year. I think that's where a lot of the animosity comes from a fan base. It's like, well, why? What was it on Chubb? Was Chubb the one that didn't come back? I mean, there's all of these questions that I've seen, when the reality is a player of his size, of his age, that plays the position that he needs, that needs the explosion that these players need to do what they do, especially him in the way he plays. I'm glad that he took the year. Take the year, get fully healed so that maybe it won't snap again, right? And you saw before, pre-injury, like you just alluded to, Keith, his impact is non-negotiable, right? I mean, you can't when you say Bradley Chubb, it is synonymous with impact on the Miami Dolphins. Now, you can not like the fact that he got injured. Well, I'm sorry, like that shit happens, right?
Yeah.
He could break a leg walking down the stairs in the morning, right? This is a violent sport. These things happen. It was unfortunate, but I'm glad that he's coming back, and I'm glad that now we had discussions earlier in the offseason. Well, what do we do with Bradley Chubb? Do we restructure? Do we cut him? Do we do this? So, if we were to have done that, I would have been okay with it too, because I would have understood that it was for a purpose, right? We restructured to get cap flexibility, or we cut them or traded them to get cap flexibility so we could do X, Y, and Z. Yeah. But we didn't. He's on the team. I'm happy about it. In either of those scenarios, I was going to be happy. So I like that he's coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. And, there is something to be said for Bradley Chubb sitting out the season. Mm-hmm. Jalen Phillips, the guy we're going to talk about next, he didn't sit out the season, and he came back, in a lot of people's estimation, maybe a little too early, and he got hurt again. He got injured again. I don't know if that was because he came back too early. I don't know why, but I do know this: it couldn't have helped.
And don't forget, he being Chubb took a pay cut to stay with Miami, right? So after his pay cut and his restructure, which we did this offseason, he has a base salary of $1.25 million with prorated bonuses and things like that. His cap hit essentially for this year is 12.32, which that's outstanding.
Yeah.
If he's back full at even 90% of what he was pre-injury.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Taylor, talk to us a little bit more about Bradley Chubb here.
So, since I wasn't here for the Chop thing, gonna kind of tie in my thoughts on Chop with Bradley Chubb because I do think they are kind of connected. Because Bradley Chubb didn't play all last year, and the whole reason, Josh, you kind of outlined it very well. Go and get an impact player like Bradley Chubb. What he has produced on the football field, I think, is really good football. I don't think it's outstanding. We can talk about whether it was worth the total amount that he got on that contract, but I think he's been a really good member of the Miami Dolphins. But what I think he was, I don't want to say primarily, but at least a factor in why he was traded for was to accelerate the development of Jalen Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
To be a guy who could be the number one edge rusher, let Phillips be on the opposite end, and hopefully give him a little bit of confidence, get going, being the other guy who's not getting double teamed on the line. And it kind of turns out that Chop Robinson, I think, has the prime opportunity, to use a McDaniel word here, opportunity, to be the guy on this line, opposite of Bradley Chubb. And I find that very interesting. Now, getting into Bradley Chubb into 2025, 29 years old, you guys talked about it, missed all of 2024 with a torn ACL, suffered in late 2023, 0 games played. So I got absolutely nothing to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to 2023. 16 games played, 45 solo tackles, 73 total tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 6 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 11 sacks, 33 pressures, 9 hurries, 11 QB knockdowns, 1 batted pass,
and a partridge in a pear
tackles, tree. and a partridge in a pear tree. But no, he had a 16.1 missed tackle percentage, which is also the same as Chop had last year as well. He is a 2-time Pro Bowler. So, man, I think he had an exceptional 2023. And him going out with that injury, I think that's the main thing. Like that, of all the things Mike McDaniel, I think, has messed up, of all the great things he's done too, to me, leaving Chubb out there in that Ravens game, garbage time, is one of the dumbest things he's done as coach.
Yeah, and I do not want this conversation to spill off into Mike McDaniel, right? But I will just say this. This was something that Mike McDaniel needs to fix, right? This is a serious problem because this is not just a one-time event, right? This is something that's happened since he's been in Miami. He's left players in blowouts. It's like, dude, there's no possible way that what last year's iteration of, or whatever it was, 2 years ago's iteration of Miami is going to come back, whatever it was. We were down by like 40 something points. Like, pull your starters, put your rookies, put your backups in, and it is what it is, right? This is the equivalent of Tua learning to throw the ball away and live to die another play, right? And hopefully he's learned, right? Because Taylor, you nailed it, right? I mean, Bradley Chubb being left into that game is a serious problem, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that his impact on this team, both in the locker room from a veteran standpoint and what he was brought in to do, which he does very well, which is rush the passer and stop the run. The fact that he got injured and wasn't on the field for a year and a half, essentially, right? When you combine the time that he was out, or ish, and give or take, that's a problem, right? That's where the animosity from the fan base comes when Bradley Chubb's name gets cut out. It's recency bias, in my opinion, right? I haven't seen him in a year and a half. He's garbage. This dude, when he's on the field and when he's healthy and when he's locked in, is one of the top linebackers in this league, in my opinion.
He's
also asked to play in coverage a lot as well, which is like you guys talked about Chop Robinson and him playing a little bit in coverage. I don't want to see Chop Robinson in coverage. This guy is a pure edge rusher. You want to see him get some sacks. You want to see him behind the line of scrimmage. Chubb is somebody I think has played so long, he can actually do that. And then he could edge rush as well. Like, he's somebody I think you can plug and play in various different spots.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing's for sure, based on what I saw from Chop Robinson last year, based on what I saw from, guys like Emmanuel Ogba last year, I'm excited to see Bradley Chubb in this Anthony Weaver scheme. I'm excited to see what Chubb can do. Last thing I want to ask you guys about Chubb, I'm going to pose this to both of you guys. How much of an impact do you see Bradley Chubb having this year? He's taken a year and a half off. Do you see him hitting the ground running? Do you see him coming back slowly? How do you see this season going for him? Taylor, I'll start with you on this one.
I think he's going to have a good year. I really do, especially he had that extra time, didn't play in 2024. You have Chop on the other side, who I said at the start of this thing, I think he has a great opportunity to be the guy on this edge rushers list here. Hell, we started out our conversation talking about Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
Not talking about Jalen Phillips, not Bradley Chubb, Chop Robinson.
There's a reason for that.
If he could, there's a reason for that. And I think if he can emerge as the guy and Chubb can now be the complementary piece to that, that's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Josh?
Yeah, for me, I like to do my projections. Right. And I think I'm not going to give hard numbers, right? Because that's difficult, right? But I think if he can stay healthy all 17 games, right? I think that's important, right? If he can get over, I have him in the 55-60 total tackle range, 8 to 9 sacks. I think that would be a very successful season for him coming back from what he did, right? Yeah. If he can get anywhere close to those, 17 games being the key one for me, but anywhere close to 60 total tackles and 8 sacks, I think we can say, where some of us, not on this show, but some of us being the royal us, might think, well, you guys overpaid at 110 million over 5 years. That's okay. It's not my money. I don't really care what the dude makes and who he got paid, as long as he's producing on the field. And I think if he can stay healthy and get sacks and get tackles, that's what he's getting paid for. And I think he will. I really do.
Yeah.